From the lowest dungeon to the highest peak, I fought him, the balrog of Morgoth.
Did you know that there is a balrog of Morgoth in Stellaris? In this video, we're going to try and take on the balrog with just a simple fellowship of 9 armies. They're going to be hopelessly outmatched by this monster, but we're going to use some magical powers and a little bit of game abuse to turn the odds entirely in our favor and defeat the most powerful creature in Stellaris with just a couple of assault armies, basically. We'll also explore this strategy further to look into a way that means you will never lose a single planet in combat and always win every aggressive combat you fight in. That is short of Star Eaters and Colossus weapons, of course. Without any further ado, let's dive in. The cornerstone that everything today in this video will be focused on is Thrall Worlds. They now have a brand new district, a Battle Thrall district, which has a brand new job, the Battle Thrall job. But how can we get our hands on a Thrall World, and how can we optimize their use? In order to get a Thrall World, you must have slaves, and that means we have to either be authoritarian, allowing us to enslave aliens, or xenophobic, which also allows us to enslave aliens. For the sake of comfort, I've decided to take both. You'll then need to research neural implants, which unlock slave armies, slave processing facilities, and orbital slave processing hubs, and then make sure you have a leader on your council with the expertise statecraft. Without this, your chance of rolling Thrall World technology is drastically lower, and then you should be able to roll and research the Thrall World technology, giving you access to the Thrall World decision. Did I mention that Thrall Worlds also give you plus 100% pop growth speed? Oh goodness me, that's nice. To really make this build nigh unbeatable, I'm also going to grab Subterranean. That has minus 75% orbital bombardment damage. So if we combine it with either the perk from adaptability or unyielding that grants us another minus 25%, which is very easy to get, we're going to very soon be able to completely ignore orbital bombardment damage from any enemy, meaning that they will have to fight us on the surface of a planet in order to take that planet from us. Adding in Lithoid also increases our army health by 50%. This will be essential to taking down the Balrog with a fellowship of just 9. I'm also going to add in Warrior Culture because it seems fun and it gives us another 20% damage, but this is entirely superfluous. We're going to get a much larger damage modifier to our army damage once we dive into the game. Pay no attention to the second civic for now. That's only got something to do with a mild strategy that means we can never be conquered at any point in Stellaris ever. Don't worry about that, it's absolutely fine.
Nothing to see here, please!
First, we're going to do the fun thing, and then I'm going to show you how this is utterly broken. We've done the normal thing as a Subterranean, we've expanded out into the galaxy and found new worlds, and also subjugated a species or two and turned them into slaves. On one of our planets, we've been lucky enough to find some unexpected mineral scenes, and we are going to dig greedily and deep, ladies and gentlemen, continuing to fund probing deeper and deeper and deeper.
You know what they awoke in the darkness of Khazad-dûm. Shadow, flame.
And look what our greed has done. We have awoken a creature of an ancient world. Pain, death, and destruction will fall probably on some sort of line of coffee cup called a urine. And if you're enjoying this video, please become a servant of the secret like button, wielder of the flame of interaction. This world is clearly lost. Yeah, we failed to defend New Roanoke, or as we're now calling it back home, Moria, and there is a crystalline bane, a flame of Udun. This monster has an army strength of 15,000. It has 11,000 health, absolutely no morale, does 100% collateral damage, and deals devastating morale and regular army damage. It is monstrous. It would take an army beyond reckoning to storm this world, and you know what? There is no such army. Instead, we're going to get together a little fellowship. Utilizing our Cybrex precursors, we have built a Cybrex warform on the capital. The Cybrex warform will be representing our lovely Istari here, that's Gandalf, And then the rest are the regular members of the Fellowship, non-Maiar from Frodo all the way down to Boromir. They allegedly have an army strength of 3,000. Now, why on earth is that? We have filled up a number of worlds with the Battle Thrall districts, and we've got a number of Battle Thralls down on our planets. I think we've got around 4 or 5 of these Thrall worlds altogether, with around 30 to 50 pops on. Yes, we did go out and conquer a couple of planets from other empires. Oopsie. We've also made sure to get some high-level leaders. Now, you see, I've gone down the Commissioner trait here by taking Grand Taskmaster, which is an otherwise useless perk. We're going to be generating energy, minerals, and food from our Battle Thralls on top of their lovely 5% additional army damage and extra fleet capacity. So not only do these Thralls pay for themselves, they also generate extra resources as well. It's not the most efficient use of pops, ladies and gentlemen, but it does do some silly things. This and our other bonuses have combined to give us a grand total of plus 1,330% assault army damage, which means I think it's time to dive into Moria. I wonder if this measly 3k can do it.
You cannot pass!
Gandalf has now entered the fight.
I am the servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Arnor.
Dark fire will not avail you. Flame of Ulun! You shall not pass!
And there we have it, the Balrog defeated with a fellowship of merely 9. I'm sure actually we could have done it with less, but I felt it was a bit more thematic to do it that way. But that's not the only thing that we can do with this build. Remember earlier I mentioned reanimators. Well, reanimators have something fun. They allow us to build dread encampments, which replace our defense armies with undead defense armies, and additionally allow us to recruit undead armies. Defeated organic armies are sometimes, about a third of the time, resurrected as undead armies. I think you can see where this is going, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce you to the Fortress world. I don't know why it says Agri world. It's clearly a fortress world with all of these fortresses and an entire population dedicated to soldiery of CK Nor. This has a garrison of almost 11,000 strong. It's pretty darn potent. But give me 10 good men, I think we can impregnate the bitch. I now have a very small set of undead armies. There's 10 of them, and a nice general to go alongside them. I'm going to land them on the planet, and let's see what happens. They've only got 1.7k, which isn't much. I wonder if they can defeat the enemy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out that they can. As long as you send in about 50 to 60% more than the combat width of the planet, that does depend on your army damage output and how many battle thralls you have, you will in fact generate more armies than you lose on a continual basis, because we are killing more of the enemy than they are killing of us. Yes, we have perfected the art of zombie hoarding. In fact, the longer this battle goes on for, the larger our army will get. And at the very end of the battle, as we kill off all of these disengaged armies, our numbers will swell astronomically.
Too many of them! They broke into the front line!
I've lost contact with the capital!
All that is left now is to deal with the Riffraff, and as each member of the Riffraff is killed off, our army size grows ridiculously. We came in here with, I think it was, 1.5k? We're going to be leaving with a larger army than our enemy had at the start. Yes, there we go. We've taken our tiny army and converted it into 14k. We can now take this to the next fortress world and convert that one too. Nothing can now stand against you. We've now got our dread commandos, 10 of them, defending this planet, and our enemy has brought up an absolute swarm of assault armies, 13,000 in fact. But like before, the enemy are going to find that our undead army simply kill them off far too quickly to be stopped. We could also be running with xenomorphs. That would be very nice. Cybrex warforms. The downfall of this build would be fighting against non-biological armies, so machine armies. However, fanatic purifiers, devouring swarms, they can be completely ignored by you with this build because they can never take a single one of your planets. A good number of undead armies per planet, and you have successfully defended yourself from any form of aggression. As their armies throw themselves on your swords, they will also rack up war exhaustion, allowing you to piece them out again. And because your armies appear to be relatively low in combat power, they will continue to hurl themselves at you. It's really quite hilarious. If you enjoyed this Stellaris video and you'd like to see another Stellaris video, click the video on screen now.